Hello everyone, this is a brief demo of homework 4. This app is called Course Planner, and when you get the starter code after installing the dependencies and running the application, you're going to see a view that looks like this. So notice that you have a currently enrolled, want to take, and already took categories in the homepage, and there is a course in each one of them. For each course, you see the course number, the title of the course, and the academic semester. And then there's a drop down that you can basically move this course between these different categories. So you can move it from currently enrolled to want to take or already took. And if you select none, it should remove this from your categories. Now, currently, none of this work, right? This is a static layout of the application just for your reference, and like if you click on this plus button also nothing works, but I'm going to show you shortly how the actual application is supposed to work. So this is the actual app, this is the finished version, and so when you click on this add button, you're going to go to a new page, a search page, and you can come here and search for courses. So let's say, for example, Gateway, and when you type in, it's going to show all the Gateway courses that is available here. Now, what you should notice is that we are limiting the search only to fall 2025, spring 2026, and summer 2026. So that would be previous semester, this semester, and the next semester. Where is this data coming from? Well, this data is coming from our Hopkins CS Web API. This says CS, which is a student information system, but actually it is just the public courses search. So anything that you get from, say, JHU courses catalog. So this page that you probably are familiar with, where you can go and search for different courses, the backend API of this page is here. In order for you to use this API, you would have to come to this page. This is all documented in the description of the homework. And also, by the way, if you look at your starter code, you're going to find a folder in the source directory called services. And in that services, you're going to have a README that again explains all of this in greater detail, in fact. And there's some examples for you that how you can connect to this API, to define types for it, some to-dos for you to sort of create a function here that allows you to fetch data from this API. So anyways, you got to go all the way to the bottom of this page, put your email here, and then click that you're not a robot and request the API key. This will take a bit, maybe a few minutes to half an hour, something like that. And then they will send you a key. That key is going to look like a string of letters and numbers, and it's just gibberish. But anyways, you're going to come and in the starter code, you will make a copy of this file called .nvm.example. You will copy this, you will rename it and remove the .example from the end of it. And then here where it says vt_jhu_api_key, you put the value of your API key in it. Again, all of this is documented in the README file under the sources, under the services directory. So I would encourage you to just go through reading all of this to understand what this API is and how you're supposed to work with it. You should also take a look at the documentation of this API. I'm going to be honest with you, this is a very poorly designed API. It's probably an example of how you should not be designing your APIs, but at any rate, it's a good example of working with real APIs where you actually need to go read a bit of a documentation and deal with the issues and quirks of using an API. So what you can do is you can use an app like Postman to experiment with. Okay, let me get hold of Postman. So you can use Postman to experiment with the application with the Hopkins API. So for example, I can try to get all the schools that are available that exist at Hopkins. And so my API key is saved. And when we send this, you get like all the schools that we have. Right, so there are different endpoints that are doing different things. Like I just tried this one to get a return list of available schools. I encourage you to experiment with various endpoints to kind of get a feel for how you can get various information. But then all you need is courses. You need to get a courses for the last, well, for the previous this and next semester. And you're also only searching for Whitening School of Engineering, not any of the other schools. So this search is limited to WSE and to these 3 semesters that we are in. Okay, now when you search for a course, and then you can go and maybe I say that I already took Gateway Computing in fall 2025, and let's go and say, notice the color changes when I select it. And let's say I go for like data structures. And so apparently it's being offered in the summer. Let me pick, and also by the way, when I put data, like I get any course that in the title of it has data. Also notice at the bottom, I'm getting this pagination. So if there are more than 9 courses being returned, I basically break them into batches of 9 courses because I don't want to list all of them. So if I click next, I'm going to see the next batch. All right. So here, let's say I'll take the, let's say I want to go for the summer. So want to take data structures in the summer. Now let's go try to find JavaScript. And so JavaScript is being offered in the summer and it's being offered in fall and spring. So let's say I'm currently enrolled in full stack JavaScript. If you click on this course planner, you go back, you see now all this information is here. And again, to show you that you can move this around. So let's say I can take this and move it to want to take. So now this category is empty. It moved to want to take. Let's say I already took data structures, right? Or gateway computing is something that I'm currently enrolled in. Or if I wanted let's get rid of this one. Let's put this to none. So it's moved away. Now if I go back again to my search space, I see the last thing that I searched for. I can clear this up and search for something else again, like data structures. Now notice, if this is the option that is already taken, it recognized it and it highlighted it. And yeah, so that's about what the app does. That's the gist of it. So you have the opportunity to put all the different elements that you learned from the full stack JavaScript course over the last 4 or 5 different little applications that we've built together. But it mostly reflects the latest apps, sort of the pinnacle of the latest technology and best practices. That is what I want you to put into the design and implementation of this application. In fact, the starter code that you get comes with all the dependencies installed. So this is a TypeScript React app that is scaffolded with Vite, and it has Tailwind CSS, ShadCN UI, it's got ESLint and Prettier, and it also got Tanastack React Router, Tanastack React Query, and Tanastack React Store. So you're doing your client-side routing, your state management, as well as communicating with any sort of APIs with these libraries. Well, I hope that you take this as an opportunity to put your skills into a practice. And as always, if you have any questions, we are here to help you. Please post your questions on the discussion board or come and see us during office hours.